Hello, Elog drivers. Whether you're an Elog lover or an Elog hater, maybe we can all learn from our experiences and sharing our experiences. Now here we have an Elog. So right now we're in the graph mode. Now a lot of people might be using the stylus, to try to hit these thin little slices here on the status bar. Let's say you want to get the times and so forth. And when I clicked on this status bar, the time changed, the start time changed to 9:49. See here, this sleeper berth, it started at midnight, so it's got 00. It's got a duration to 7:45. Now I clicked on this one, and there the start is 9:49. So that's a handy feature, especially if you're trying to match up your logbook to the tabs. What about these thin ones here? You're trying to tab them, and you get the wrong ones, and you can't quite do it. So my favorite way is to use these two tabs on the bottom. You have previous and next. So let's just try that. Previous, 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 previous. Come on, previous. Oh, I'm not hitting previous. There we go. And we can even get the smallest, slightest little tab, like when it came up. And oops, I should follow my own advice here. Let's go to previous. Okay, now that's going to go back to there, and then we'll have notes here. Now here's your notes on the system. Okay, that was George West status on pre-trip, and we'll just hit OK. Alright, so if we go previous, now we're back on there. Duration was 16 minutes, so that was a pre-trip at George West for my co-driver. Okay, so that's the answer to one of our questions, the previous and read next. Okay, it's great for getting information for your logbook to interval, and it's also good for doing something called editing. Now if we go to editing, we would have to go to this up here, to this approve tab, approve, and that's why it's so important. You see, everything's listed as a time, a start, and a duration. It gives you the status also, but notice no comments or anything, but the status. So the only way I can see you get comments is to hit the notes tab, but you can't get a complete list of comments. So you have to scroll through the whole day, or the whole day of the status bar that you want to change, and you need to highlight one of these. Let's say sleeper berth time on the 20th, and then you see the editing key comes up. If you didn't have it highlighted, the editing key would not come up. So if you go back to graphs, alright, and you come back to approve, alright, you see the editing key is not enabled. As soon as you highlight something, that enables the edit key. So there's the sleeper berth. So let's look at edits, and then here you go. You can edit sleeper berth from 20:27 p.m. on the 7/20/2011 for 3 hours and 33 minutes. Okay. Now the easiest type of correction is just to change a whole duty status, with not having to split it or partition it between any other duty status, or do anything else other than change the whole bar segment. Anything else gets into more complications. So when you first start to learn editing, then I would just do the simplest type of things. And I would also use the stylus. There is a stylus in this thing if we can find it. Alright, so if you go to off, now this is off duty. It's going to be on the 27th of 2027 on 7/20. Okay. Alright. Now it wants me to put in something here. Alright. So it's not going to let me do it, because it won't let me do the OK unless I put something in here. So I'm going to put practice. Okay, so there's practice, and I'm going to hit the little red X here. Okay, now you see OK is enabled. I put in a reason I'm changing. I'm just practicing. You know, on the 2027, so it's close to 8:30 on the 20th, I'm going to change it to off-duty time. So let's go, push OK. Let's go now to graph. Let's go to 2027. So there's 15. On the 20th. Okay, there's the 20th. Let's look around 8:30-ish. And there it is, right there. Okay, I'm gonna use my next tab. Alright, that's just a little piece that was added. Alright, there. That is Georgetown. And it was sleeper berth. And it was already probably corrected. That's why you have two sleeper berths butted up against each other. But we're going to push next because we need 2027 start. And you can see now at 2027, it's off duty. Previously, it was in sleeper berth. Now, what we're going to do is go back and put it back into sleeper berth because that's where it needs to be. So we're going to go back to approve. We're going to go back to the 20th at 2027. So we have to find the 20th, look at 2027. On the 20th, let's go the other way. 2009, there it is. Now you notice again, edit keys not highlighted or enabled because we haven't highlighted a line yet. So it's a little hard to get all these little nuances when you first start the system, but there are a lot of nuances. You really have to catch on to what the thing's doing and why it's doing it. So now we have edits, and we're going to push edits because it's been enabled. We have off, so we're going to push this. We're going to change it to sleeper berth. We're going to put in a note. I'm going to put practice correction. Alright, you're going to push the red X. You have an OK because you put in a note. So yeah, if you can't get out of the screen, it's probably because one reason could be you didn't put in a note there. It doesn't tell you that, but you just have to figure all these little nuances out on the system. So we're going to hit OK, and it says logs updated for James, and we're going to go to summary or graph, or here we go, graph we want, and we want to see the 20th, which this is at 2027 on the 20th, and there we put the time back into the sleeper berth. Now this is the easiest type of edit.